We are called to order. The minutes of the previous meeting, did you have a chance to?
I did. Yeah,
Okay.
that looks fine to me.
Okay, you want to just go ahead and sign it, Jim?
All right.
We'll take it as it's presented. Next item is the logic and accuracy certification.
Okay, so this is all the testing that we've done, making sure that everything counts correctly, uploads correctly. And this would be that document. So we held our public test yesterday. We had no public. But we did have several media crews that came and they actually did some really nice stories about how the voting equipment worked and all of that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so there was two stories, and then today the University of Arkansas is coming with their journalism class at 2:15.
Ooh.
And we do a little
Cool.
public test demonstration for those journalist students so they can ask questions too. So, yeah.
Awesome. What were the local media outlets?
It was
Stations?
4029 and Channel 5.
Good.
So, yeah, so both.
Pretty
of
much
those
what
were
you
here.
expected.
And the newspaper was here too, and they actually published this picture in the paper and just, they didn't do an article, but they, put this picture in the paper and then one of me and the equipment and stuff. So it, I mean,
Yeah,
everyone can see we did a public
Yeah.
test, whether no one came or not, but
yeah, that's great.
And I do like how you're posting online too.
yeah.
I think we need, this is now a good time to have a larger profile.
Yeah, and I'm trying to, from starting now, make a post every day.
Oh, good.
So just on different things
Yeah.
that are coming up, like, for instance, most voters know to go to VoterView to check your, address and your ballot, but for people who requested an absentee, you can actually see on VoterView when it was mailed to you.
Oh,
And then when the county clerk's office receives it,
Okay.
it will show you that as
Oh,
well
that's
on
cool.
VoterView.
Okay.
So just kind of information that
Yeah.
again, just different things. So, yeah.
Do we know how many absentees have gone out as of today?
Oh, how many, Evelyn? She has thousands, but.
Thousands and thousands.
So, at least, I mean, well over 1,300, I would say 1,400. We've received back 235 or something.
63.
Yeah.
Oh, cool, but
And then we emailed out over
Overseas.
300 of the Yocava ballots, which that is gonna be 300 ballots if they all come back that we have to remake.
Oh, yeah.
So election day, we'll start a crew of just doing remakes
Mm,
and have those prepped for a commissioner. We'll probably see if one of you guys can come in early so we can go ahead and get those approved.
Yeah.
I mean, our teams will approve, but
mm.
we'll need your sign off
Right.
before we read in.
Right.
Cause that's a lot to remake.
Yeah.
I mean, a whole lot.
Yeah,
So, yeah.
mhm.
no, it could be worse, but.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Oh, it could be 12,000.
That's right, that's right.
But yeah, so
Okay.
I know that we have at least that many that we've sent.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Okay.
What is the-
The 10th.
10.
I think that it has only required.
Oh, yeah, it does only have one.
Yeah.
Okay.
So what it has is the 0 with it and then the numbers of the, where we tested one ballot for every candidate for every precinct. And then also it has the information where we tested the poll books and actually voted, pulled up a voter out of every precinct and voted a ballot for those precincts to make sure that it actually pulled up correctly. So, yeah. So. And then, of course, this will get filed with the county clerk's office.
Now, is that,
signature.
Yeah, it'll be Becky's and then mine and then Lacey's. Yeah.
Does, that's available for anybody in the, I don't know, in the county, wherever, to examine it. I mean, not that
So
it's terribly informative.
we file it with the county clerk's office, so it becomes part of the record,
Mhm.
but it's not posted anywhere. But if you want me to post this, I can scan it and post it. I mean, if anyone wanted to see it, but it
Yeah.
is available if someone requested it.
Okay,
They can get a copy of it from the county clerk's office,
gotcha.
the certified copy. I'll have a copy in my office, but they would actually be able to see the file stamped one and
Okay.
everything, so yeah. So
Okay, well, it just becomes part of the public record, which
it does.
at this point, we need all of it. Okay, any questions on that? Any comments, any observations?
No.
Co-worker notice.
So this would be a list of all the poll workers, election staff, delivery crews, anyone that's gonna touch any bit of election equipment, ballots or whatever is on this list. We went ahead and did the list for both the general election
Oh,
and the runoff.
Good.
So that way, anyone is eligible to work for the runoff election, even though we know the sites, but you never know with it
Right.
being the week of Thanksgiving and then that Tuesday afterwards, so yeah.
We have a lot of people involved in this stuff.
Over 450,
Wow, is
so
that the most ever?
it's the most we've ever, had, and for once, I have extra poll workers.
Cool.
Oh, wow.
So yes, we've not ever been in that position. Normally it seems we're, having to, borrow and borrow and borrow. But this way I have extra poll workers. I also have, in this last group of poll workers we hired, there were at least 4 bilingual poll workers
Cool.
out
Yeah.
of that group. One of them he comes to us from Texas, retired state trooper.
Cool.
So, yeah, so I think he's gonna be a really good addition for our work staff,
Yeah,
so,
that's
yeah.
great.
And where is the Texas cowboy hat?
Yeah. So, yeah, but,
What do you attribute having extra poll workers do? Anything in particular?
so a lot of civic duty, a lot, I have gotten that, but the VA actually over the summer made a huge push to try and get veterans to sign up to be poll workers. And they put it out through their newsletters, they talked about it and everything. So many of the new ones that I have are retired
That's
military.
fascinating. I
And-
didn't know about that.
Yeah, and because we knew something must have happened, because all of a sudden it was like poll worker application after application
Oh,
after
really?
application. When I would pull them up, it was all retired military, retired military. And so, when they came in or we visited with them, I was like, well, how did you find out? And that was
Was that across the state? or
across the
just-
United States.
Oh, really?
Wow.
Wow.
It was a big push, by the Veteran Services to do
Wow.
that, so, yeah.
How
So,
cool is
Yeah.
that?
Yeah, very interesting.
and it's nice, because, our veterans and our retired school teachers, those are the biggest bulk of poll workers that we have,
Yeah.
so, yeah.
Wow,
Cool.
that's so neat. Okay. Election preparation update. Excuse me.
So we will actually start delivering and setting up early vote sites on Thursday of next week. And so we will be all prepped and ready for the 21st when it gets here. And so far, we've not had any issues come up, any sites or anything like that, with problems. So yeah, so that will be our next week that we have to do. And then that issue 2 and issue 3 still are under litigation.
Yeah.
So maybe by early voting, we'll have an answer of what it means, but regardless, it stays on the ballot.
Yeah,
The question is, do we report results or not? But for the voters, they will continue to see that on the ballot. It won't be removed. And then the early vote turnout daily numbers, I will once again send those out and post those daily.
Cool.
One thing that will be a little bit different, because We have certain sites we're having to tear down in the middle of the week or having to remove ballot boxes. And we have the chain of custody where it has to be
Right.
two of us removing ballot boxes. I will most likely release numbers at 5 o'clock. And then after we've gone and picked up the site or picked up ballot boxes or whatever, I will then re-release numbers after I get done with whatever it is we're doing. So there'll be a set of numbers at 5 and then a set of numbers at 7 or 8.
Is that
That would
gonna,
include,
is that gonna be crazy for you though?
And
If
what,
you have two sets of numbers?
no, it's pretty, actually,
and what's the point of doing two sets of numbers?
Yeah.
so the question is, there,
Trying to get the 5 o'clock news or something?
well, everyone wants those numbers. And I can either do them at 5 and get them some numbers, or they're gonna have to wait until 8 and get numbers.
Who
So-
really wants the real vote numbers? I mean, just
Just
Politico,
random-
whoever.
People, campaigns, the media. I mean, I can just do one set and just note that it might be 6:30 on some days, but it might be 8 on some days. And however the commission wants me to release them, I'm happy to do it.
I just don't want you to be running ragged with them.
Same.
It seems like a small thing. I mean, it
Yeah.
may seem huge to some people. But overall, it's a courtesy, right? And
I feel like,
it happens when it happens.
Okay.
I don't disagree at all. I feel like I'm open, but I feel like I guess I worry a little about you trying to get one set of numbers
Right.
released and then counting additional ballots later that day. And I'm not saying that there's gonna be a mistake, but it just
Right.
seems like multiple releases
Right.
on the same day
Yeah.
creates more opportunity for potential, misreleases or counting, or I don't know.
I agree with everything that these two commissioners have said. What I wonder is, because this is caused by that silly little law that they passed to have to have two people bring
Mm,
these locked and signed off on
Yeah.
ballot boxes in. Maybe we need to do it and keep up with what it costs us in manpower and money as a part of the reason that we go back to them and say, let's get rid of this law.
Right.
mm.
Cause that's part of the reason, 'cause
Sure,
there's only so many of
Right.
us.
Yeah.
Limited
And both of us are having
resource.
to go.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
kind of, sets us up to have to release numbers. And so I just want to make sure the commission is comfortable with if I'm releasing numbers late, that's when I'm releasing numbers, or if you feel like I should release numbers twice. I mean, either way is fine with me.
I
I
think,
just.
well, I think once is fine, and I think if
Okay.
anybody pushes back, as Jim mentioned, make that's the reason, that's the scapegoat, that
Right.
law, hey, I'm sorry, we don't have sufficient resources because, we have to spend time, additional staff time,
Mm.
two people transporting all these ballot boxes but I mean, I think you should just release them once.
Okay.
I
in the
agree.
night. It
I
seems
agree.
like too much and kind of silly to do it twice.
Well,
Really
again-
vote every single day.
Isn't that a courtesy? Even just releasing them once a day.
It is, but I know that the public has gotten used to us releasing the numbers,
Yeah.
and so I didn't want to just spring it on us that, hey, I'm not releasing numbers till 8:30 and this is why.
Yeah.
So that way we're prepped and ready, so when I start to release numbers, I can explain to whoever I release them to and online, numbers won't be available until this time period or afterwards, not at.
And-
I think
and
that's
these-
fine. Give an
Okay.
explanation up front
Yeah,
about it.
yeah.
Some people's expectations are set.
And these are never official numbers.
Right, they're always unofficial
Yeah,
numbers
yeah.
and all of that, but that way I can go ahead and set
Mhm.
the expectation up so that on that first day of early voting, people are like, where are your numbers at
Yeah.
6? And I'm like, and for the commission too, we've all had this discussion, this is when numbers will be
Right.
released. So, okay.
Yeah,
Okay, I agree with that. I would say that, if as soon as you get somebody calls in about it, I think the first thing you say is, the commission said only release them once.
Okay.
And, you could release them early if it wasn't for this law.
Right.
Mm,
You know, I think they need to all know that there are, consequences of writing laws.
Mm.
And if it's something that doesn't, you know, I just think it's crazy.
Yeah, that's perfect.
Okay.
okay, anything else on the update of preparation?
I don't, so we will release, I do have already created posts every day for what sites are open
Okay,
every day, so
okay.
that'll go out, and then every evening we'll release numbers, just like we have been, so yeah, so.
Okay. And then we move on to the runoff, if we have one.
Yeah,
If we have one, the offices up for election would be Fayetteville Mayor, Fayetteville City Ward 4, Prairie Grove Ward 1, and Tawnytown Ward 3, positions 1 and 2. Those are our only possible runoff elections. Early vote would only be in the county clerk's office. It would be Tuesday, Wednesday, closed Thursday for Thanksgiving, then open Friday, and then the Monday
Yeah,
before the election. So yeah, so those will be the dates of.
I hate having it for Thanksgiving.
So it is, and
Ugh.
us having to be open on the 29th is also a new law.
Right,
That needs to be changed. They included all state and federal holidays, and everyone's assumption was that the Friday after Thanksgiving was a state holiday. It's
not.
not.
Yeah.
The state gives it off, but it's not a recognized holiday. So therefore, we are open. So hopefully maybe that legislatively gets changed, because I don't think, I mean.
Yeah.
I don't know.
it's gonna be minimal numbers, people
Oh,
travel
yeah.
for Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So, and then of course, election day will be, December the 3rd. I would, if for some reason we were to only have for 2 sites open,
oh, yeah.
I would like to entertain the thought of actually counting in our office and not over at the sheriff's annex, because we're only, it's can still be open to the public. Our office has plenty of space inside to set up an area for the public. It would just be a lot of us moving things for 2 ballot boxes to come back election night.
Mhm.
12 ballot boxes is a different story.
Right,
But 2 ballot boxes, and so when we find out what our runoff is,
Mhm.
I'll bring that back up, but just kind
Okay.
of think about that, if that may be a request I make for us to
Yeah.
actually count in our
Sure.
office.
Wow. They increased the time for the runoff. It was
Used
2
to be
weeks,
3 weeks.
3 weeks,
and
now it's 4. Did they even consider that this is during Thanksgiving?
No, and it happens every other
Yeah.
cycle.
Yeah,
Early votes the week of Thanksgiving, yeah.
that needs to be adjusted.
Either the runoff needs to be adjusted, or the criteria for a runoff needs to be adjusted.
Yeah.
So, you know, they went in and adjusted it to that 40-20 rule. Maybe there's another look at runoffs, and the need for the runoffs. So, yeah.
I just don't like that at all, but whatever. Okay, other questions about that? Other comments?
no, no,
Okay, other business? Anything?
no.
We're adjourned.
We did the stickers?